this is a mind boggler for one. Uber trying to purchase Grubhub right now. They got a lot of money kind of moving around all over the place. So I'm just gonna kind of just read a couple things before I guess I'll pose a question. First, there's a huge elephant in the room. Likely the most startling and impacting Uber news lately is its potential purchase of Grubhub, a direct competitor to Uber Eats division. That's okay. All right, we'll just keep going. Grubhub, which now owns Seamless, possesses a slightly larger third-party delivery market share than Uber and has reportedly been looking to sell to one of its competitors. One of the people there, Alex Willem, explained for TechCrunch back in January that Grubhub competes with a number of startup darlings such as Postmates, DoorDash, and they're not doing too great financially right now either. And they're pretty deeply unprofitable right now, and they're also dealing with Uber Eats. So I guess my question is, Justin, what the hell are they doing, dude? Because they're also laying people off like crazy, and they are not looking after their employees. They have a ton of employees that are not getting unemployment, and a lot of them are sick with COVID and are dying, but they trying to expand.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting that Grubhub was not doing very well back in like 2015, and they were talking about, and this is according to the Wall Street Journal, that they were trying to even look at selling their company. So like Grubhub was first into the industry. Then you got like what you said, DoorDash and Postmates came in afterwards. There's not a lot of companies in this industry at all. And it's still like all of them are posting a net loss. Like nobody's making money at all on this business right now. It's all for like future earning potential. And Grubhub is basically like, maybe we're just done with this whole thing. It's like, maybe this wasn't such a good idea in the first place. So yeah, they're looking at Uber. Because I mean, like Grubhub, their big thing is, you know, dealing with transportation, right? And paying people and all that. And Uber already has that. So they're thinking this is going to be like, you know, a perfect merger of having a firm that deals with the transportation end of it. And Grubhub is the leader in like dealing with restaurants themselves. Right. But I know, Ron, you're upset about this because the big issue is all the damn fees that these organizations are charging restaurants, which is making it more expensive for you and I to get food from these restaurants. Like during COVID-19 right now in this pandemic, the last thing I want to help restaurants out. But if it's going to be I mean, first of all, it's obviously way cheaper to eat at home. And you can eat healthier, potentially.
And it's safer.
And safer. I mean, I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow to get a bunch of food. But the last few days, I've tried to support some restaurants. But the problem is, some of these delivery fees are like $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. And they're charging this to... It either deters me as a consumer from wanting to buy. Like the only time I told you this earlier today when we were talking about this topic... when I order off of Uber Eats, I don't even like Grubhub for a very different reason, but for Uber Eats, I only get the options that are $0 delivery. So I'm like, why am I going to spend like $3, $4, $5?
Yeah, you
in addition to tipping, they don't even give you an option now. You have to tip at least 10%, which is fine, but I would tip people way more, but I'm not going to be spending $25 on a meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy because most of the time when you're ordering and then you see all those extra additional charges on there and then they hit you with the like, I guess what they want their minimum the tip would be. And all the times I would kind of like tip like in cash just because I would look at the bill like, man, it's like just ridiculous.
But you can't tip in cash now because
I didn't even know that. See, we actually stopped ordering because I told you I ordered some food a couple of months ago and we actually called the restaurant directly and they told us what the amount was because there was something up with the app. Dude, it was like, seriously, because we had company, so we ordered more food. It was like $25 more if we would have ordered it through Grubhub versus going to pick it up. So I went and picked the food up. And when I got there, they said, oh yeah, we tell people all the time, don't order through the Grubhubs, the DoorDashes and stuff like that because they price gouge. And just come directly to us, and, you just pay the delivery. Even if you order delivery, just order delivery through the actual restaurant. They're telling you don't even go through the apps because a lot of times they haven't even worked out a deal with the restaurants. They kind of like strong arm their way in because they got the customers like, yo, we got customers, y'all need to roll with us because this is where it's happening.
Well, they're like, and really, it's like it's the transportation end for most of them because they're saying, well, hey, we have people who are going to come pick up the food. People are already using our app to do that. So if you don't have any way to deliver it, well, we'll do it for you. But then they get you with all these fucking fees. Like on Uber Eats, if you buy less than $10, they charge you $2 minimum, just for an under $10 charge. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Like, let me just read this one more time because it's really pissing me off. So they're price gouging. A lot of these companies are. Even Uber now you have to tip.
Yeah.
I remember when you didn't have to tip.
That's right.
Not to say that I'm cheap or anything, but I remember when that wasn't even what was going on. But
I mean, I was cheap because I had less money when I was doing that, when I wasn't tipping. And I mean, and it was because they were already charging a service fee and a delivery fee. I'm like, where's this money going? It's like, it would be like an extra like $8. I'm like, and now I got to tip on top of that. Isn't this going to the person anyway? See, it was ignorance on my part of the fees. They weren't actually going to I thought maybe some of that already went to the restaurant. Well, I'm not going to tip extra.
No.
I'm already getting, so it's very interesting now.
This
is coming out.
Very interesting.
And we talked about this last week. Chicago is now going to start mandating on receipts that you start seeing what you're actually paying for. So that could be very detrimental. Now, and obviously, going back to your main thing, Grubhub and Uber have not officially said that they're merging yet. But, I mean, I think Grubhub was asking for, according to the Wall Street Journal, and I think the Washington Post that I saw, that they're asking for like $2.15 a share for every one of Grubhub shares, and Uber's like, no, that's too expensive. So nothing's set in stone yet, but like this is they would corner that entire market because
that's what it's going to do. It's going to monopolize the whole game. Like
they would be 55% of the market share. DoorDash is about 35%, and Postmates is like brand new. Like I don't even know. Who knows? So it's like
it's like only the celebrities use them and shit.
Right, exactly. So it's at this point, it's kind of like, well, if they merge, you only have one other option at that point, and I think. Would you think this is going to send more people to just ordering from restaurants directly, like back in the old days?
Yeah, I think people are going to, because with the pandemic going on, restaurants are really struggling, and the Grubhubs and things like that is actually taking more money out of their pockets.
Yes. With all the fees.
Friends of mine, my neighbors, they're restaurant owners, so definitely try to help them out as much as I can. Order food and go pick it up. I think people are going to start doing that because they're going to support their local restaurants. These places that they love going to with their families. Once they realize that they're being taken advantage of, just like us, the customer, they're going to pretty much cut out the middleman. But
dude,
if you just let me,
go ahead.
Just let me just get this out real fast. And this was from like TechCrunch from last week. Mr. Willem had made this point. He was just saying, in normal times, this deal will likely be a mix of cash and stock. However, in 2020, it's likely that this will be an all-equity transaction.
Yes. Yes.
Grubhub sound a little desperate, man.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. They are. They still posted a net loss of $33.4 million last year. So they're not doing very well. They're probably looking to sell out.
So it's lawsuits.
For restaurants, it's like, here's the other thing. They're now, particularly now during pandemic, they now have large chains, the Taco Bells and everybody. They're doing the delivery stuff for that now. They're taking a loss on those as well because it's so expansive and there's so many different stores and whatnot. But for the smaller restaurants, those are the ones I want to support. But that's where a lot of the fees are even the highest. They never put like those $0 deliveries for the restaurants I would like to support. So they don't show them up either. They're showing all the major chains. So you got to go find your local restaurant. It's absolutely absurd.
I never knew that was an option. I never knew the whole zero delivery fee. I never even knew that was an option.
On Uber Eats, it is. That's the only one I use. I don't use Grubhub. But now if Grubhub is gonna be Uber Eats. You know,
Hey man.
I don't know if I'm gonna do now.
Hey, I grilled some jerk chicken today, so Grubhub gonna be at my crib, man.
That's
like, for real.
You're gonna start giving out your food.
Hey, I'm gonna
for
start.
Grubhub.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my own delivery service, man.
Ron's
'cause
jerk chicken.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because hey, everybody getting this bread. Can I get some?
Everybody's getting the bread. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not the restaurants that actually need
Restaurants
it. So,
out here struggling, man. Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see because the industry is so young also. I don't even know if there would be any antitrust issues there. I don't think so, but I mean, 55% of market share. Your options are either DoorDash or eventually a Grubhub Uber Eats. I can see why it's good for Grubhub, but is it being good for Grubhub good for us? I don't know.
I guess that's still to be determined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely we use Grubhub a lot. You know, I mean, we've cut back due to the pandemic, and we definitely said that we wanted to. You know, I said I wanted to start cooking more back. You know, it's getting warmer outside. It's real nice to order something when it's cold, but when it's warm outside, I feel kind of guilty just ordering food all the time. But when we did order food, Grubhub was that option. Uber takes over Grubhub. I mean, it might be a regional thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe some people in certain places use certain things more. I have heard about Postmates. I've never ordered from them. It seems like they got some good restaurants that they, you know, are in cycle with. But I think I'm gonna be taking a break from these food apps and delivery services and save all my coin and just work on some new recipes, man. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
And that's where we have to leave it. I agree with you. I'm probably going to do more cooking, but that is where we'll have to leave. Topic 1, Grubhub taking over Uber. That is an interesting development, and we may revisit that as more things develop.